Good morning, friends. It's Donna Chase here, Director of Christian Formation at First Presbyterian Church in Greensboro. We are coming to the close of our summer story time series called Let's Read and Talk About Race Together. Last week, we took a little break from story time as we celebrated our Vacation Bible School virtually, Compassion Camp. We hope that you had an opportunity as families to engage with that wonderful opportunity of growing in faith together. If you didn't, you can go to our church website and you can view all of the daily Vacation Bible School videos. They were full of Bible stories, snack ideas and demonstrations, games, crafts, art opportunities, and also daily acts of compassion that you and your family could engage in at home or in your neighborhood or in the larger Greensboro community. Many of you have engaged in our 30-day journey of learning about racial equity. You can once again go on our church website if you haven't already signed up. It's not too late. The 30-day journey is something that you can engage in at any point along the way. It's a self-guided opportunity to learn and grow and act. And you can also connect in with our Zoom gatherings on Saturdays at 11 o'clock where we just process what we are learning from the week as we engage in all of these wonderful resources provided by our Race Task Force. We're hopeful of starting some small groups in the fall and maybe even repeating the journey for folks who were unable to attend during the summer. Today, I'm really excited to share a resource with you that I've actually been waiting for all summer. I tried to order it the first week of our series back in June, and it's been on back order, but it actually came in this week, and I'm once again excited to share this wonderful resource with you. The book is called Something Happened in Our Town. It's a children's story about racial injustice. It's written by 3 psychologists who have years of experience and work in not only children's behavioral health, but also in working in advocacy and racial justice. So I highly recommend the resource, not only for the story, but for the wonderful notes for parents and caregivers in the back of the book that includes many opportunities for you to engage in thinking through questions that your children may have, and also a number of resources that you might want to continue to explore as a family. So let's get ready to hear Something Happened in Our Town. Something bad happened in our town. The news was on the TV, the radio, the internet. The grown-ups didn't think the kids knew about it. But the kids in Miss Garcia's class heard some older kids talking about it, and they had questions. After school, Emma asked her mother, "Why did the police shoot that man?" "It was a mistake," said her mother. "I feel sad for the man and for his family." "Yes, the police thought that he had a gun," said her father. "It wasn't a mistake," said her sister Liz. "The cop shot him because he was black." Emma was confused. "He's brown, not black," she said. "Well, some black people have dark brown skin, and some have light brown skin," her father explained. "Black usually means African American. Most of their ancestors were brought here from Africa as slaves." I know what a slave is, said Emma. That's when you have to do what the other person says. Yes, slaves had to do whatever their white masters told them to do. Even after slavery ended, white people did not let black people live where they wanted, go to school with white people, or even vote. Who are white people? Well, that's a great question, Emma. White people came here from places in Europe or Russia or other countries. We are white even though our skin is light tan. Did our family do those bad things a long time ago? Asked Emma. Well, yes, answered her mother. Back then, many white people thought that they were better than black people, even though we know that wasn't true. Liz, her sister, added, some people that are white still think that black men and boys are dangerous, even though we know most are not. Was the man that got shot dangerous? Asked Emma. No, her mother said. Shooting him was a mistake. It was a mistake that is part of a pattern. Like that pattern on my blanket, Emma said. Yes, kind of like that. But this pattern is being nice to white people and mean to black people. It's an unfair pattern. Suppose you had a birthday party and invited everybody in your class except for the black kids, her mother said. How would they feel? That would be sad, Emma said. Or maybe they would get mad. And you would be missing out because you never know who is going to be your best friend, said her sister Liz. And you can help others to be fair, said her mom. Like telling Anna to stop teasing Ling about her name? Asked Emma. Her mother gave her a hug. Yes, just like that. In another house, Josh asked his mother, "Can police go to jail, Mom?" "Yes," said his mother. "Why are you asking me that?" "Well, I heard about that white policeman who shot a black man," said Josh. "Is he going to go to jail?" "Well, what he did was wrong," said her mother. "But he probably won't go to jail," said her father. "Why not?" asked Josh. "Well, sometimes cops stick up for each other," said Josh's brother Malcolm, "and sometimes they don't like black men." Josh was confused. "Why not? Some policemen are black." "You're right," said his mother. "Uncle James is a police officer, and so is my friend Kenya." "Well, there are many cops, black and white, who make good choices," said his father, "but we can't always count on them to do what's right." Malcolm added, "I could get stopped by the police just because I'm black, even if I didn't do anything wrong." "That's not fair," Josh said. "What if it was a white man in the car? Would the police have shot him then?" "They probably wouldn't have even stopped him," said his father. "Sometimes white people are treated better than black people," said his mother, "but it's not right. Everyone should be treated fairly." Josh's mother gave him a hug. "We're so proud of who we are." People like Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King Jr., and Nelson Mandela were strong and brave black leaders. They showed us that we can stand up for our rights and set good examples for others. They were treated very unfairly, but they helped others learn to be more fair. We would say John Lewis was the same in that category, someone we would celebrate today. Some people haven't learned yet, said his father angrily. Why are you acting mad? Said Josh. Well, I'm mad that we're still being treated so poorly. But I can use my anger to make things better, said his father. Black people have a lot of power if we would only work together to make change. I have power too, Josh said, and I'm smart. His father smiled. You're right, you are, Josh, his mother added. And you can change people's hearts by sticking up for someone who is not treated fairly. Like how Malcolm sticks up for me when the kids tease me about my glasses, Josh said. He tells them to step off. Just like that, his parents said. The next day, a new kid joined Emma and Josh's class. His name was Ahmad, and he was from a country far away. Ahmad didn't know where to sit or what to do because it was his first day at school. He talked a little bit, but it was hard to understand him. He said he was learning English. After lunch, the class went outside to play soccer. Daniel and Sophie picked kids to be on their teams, and all of the kids were picked to be on a team, except for Ahmad. Daniel said Ahmad probably didn't even know how to play soccer. He was new. And Sophie said, Ahmad might not be good at soccer, even if he knew how to play. Josh remembered what his mother had said about sticking up for people when they're treated unfairly. Emma remembered what her mother said about unfair patterns and birthday parties. All of a sudden, Ahmad was not alone. Emma and Josh were leading him to their team. We have enough kids on our team, Daniel said. We don't need him. But Josh was ready. Step off, he said. He's playing with us. Yeah, said Emma. We don't want to miss out. And just like that, Emma and Josh gained a new friend and started a better pattern in their school. The notes to parents and caregivers are a wonderful opportunity to think about things like how to address racial bias with children, countering racism and racial injustice with your children, some guidelines for how to speak, issues that African American families might face, vocabulary and words and child-friendly definitions about things like slavery, stereotypes, fairness, race, sample questions and answers. Your child tells a racist joke. I don't want to play with Joda because she's black. Shauna's skin is brown and dirty. Why doesn't she take a bath? Why do black boys always act out in class? Also sample dialogues of special relevance for African American families. And lots of resources, including one of the ones that will be down at the bottom of this YouTube page called How to Raise a Black Son in America, and another video that I would encourage you to watch called the doll test that helps us to see how children as young as 3 years old begin to form racial bias. There's a concluding piece once again about the three authors who are psychologists and also racial justice advocates. I would encourage you to enjoy not only the parent resources, but to enjoy the many resources on our 30-day journey. And I would also encourage you to enjoy the African American Spiritual, which will end our story time. I look forward to one more story time with you in August as we get ready for school. I'll be reading the story of Ruby Bridges and talking about what it means for us to consider what racial justice could look like in our schools. Take good care.
Lord, I keep so busy praising my Jesus.
Keep so busy praising my Jesus. Keep so busy praising my Jesus. Ain't got time to die.
'Cause when I'm healing the sick,
I'm praising my Jesus.
when I'm healing the sick,
I'm praising my Jesus.
when I'm healing the sick,
I'm praising my Jesus. Ain't got time to die. 'Cause it takes all of my time to praise my Jesus. All of my time to praise my Lord. If I don't praise Him, the rock's gonna cry out. Glory and honor, glory and honor. Ain't got time to die.
Lord, I keep so busy working for the kingdom.
Keep so busy working for the kingdom. Keep so busy working for the kingdom. Ain't got time to die.
'Cause when I'm beating the poor,
I'm working for the
when
kingdom.
I'm beating the poor,
I'm working for the kingdom.
when I'm beating the poor,
Ain't got time to die. 'Cause it takes all of my time to praise my Jesus. All of my time to praise my Lord. If I don't praise Him, the rock's gonna cry out. Glory and honor, glory and honor. Ain't got time to die.
Lord, I keep so busy serving my master.
Keep so busy serving my master. Keep so busy serving my master. Ain't